Everyone in the gym thought it was just a joke. She was new, quiet, dressed in plain gym sweats, no belt, no ego. So when the arrogant black belt pointed at her and smirked, "Wanna spar?" everyone chuckled. Just a friendly tease, right? But the moment she stepped onto the mat, everything changed. The air shifted. Her stance sharpened. And in seconds, the joke wasn't funny anymore. What she revealed in that fight wasn't just skill, it was a lifetime of being underestimated. What happened next left every single person in that gym dead silent.
If you believe stories like this need to be heard, hit subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss a moment that matters.
Tanya Miles wasn't there to impress anyone. She walked into the gym like any other newcomer, quiet, respectful, blending into the background. Wearing a loose hoodie and faded joggers, she looked more like someone tagging along than someone ready to spar. She'd recently moved to the city and found this mixed martial arts center just a few blocks from her job. It wasn't fancy, but it had decent mats and no joining fee. That was good enough. She signed up for the free trial class, filled out the waiver, and stretched in the corner while the others drilled techniques. No one paid her much attention, why would they? Around her, belts of all colors were flying, white, blue, purple, even a few brown belts. But it was the black belt, Travis, that stood out. Cocky, loud, always eager to show off in front of newcomers. He was used to being the center of attention. So when he noticed Tanya watching a grappling demonstration with quiet focus, he couldn't help himself. He smirked, strolled over, and nodded toward the mat. "Come on, let's see what you got," he said, loud enough for half the gym to hear. A few chuckles followed. Someone whispered, "Poor girl, doesn't even have a belt yet." Another muttered, "This should be quick." Tanya gave a small smile, pulled off her hoodie, and walked onto the mat. No one had any idea what was about to happen. As Tanya stepped barefoot onto the mat, the air in the gym shifted. People stopped mid-drill to watch. Some leaned on heavy bags. Others sat along the wall, grinning, expecting an easy show. Travis, the black belt, bowed lazily, then gestured for her to come at him. His stance was relaxed, arrogant. He clearly saw this as a warm-up, if not a joke. Tanya didn't flinch. She returned the bow with quiet respect, then settled into a stance that made one or two instructors glance twice. It wasn't the stance of a beginner. It was coiled, controlled, precise. Travis lunged, playful at first, as if to toy with her. But within seconds, she spun, ducked, and caught him off balance with a swift sweep that landed him hard on the mat. The gym fell silent. Travis forced a smile and laughed it off. "Lucky shot," he muttered, getting up faster than he should have. This time, he went in harder, grabbing, pressing, trying to pin her. Tanya moved like water. Each time he tried to dominate, she flowed out of his grip. Her counters were sharp, technical. She didn't waste energy. She didn't gloat. She just handled him. In less than 30 seconds, she had him in a triangle choke. The same guy who just moments ago mocked her, now tapped out, red-faced and gasping for breath. Someone in the corner let out a stunned, "Whoa." She let go, stood up calmly, and extended a hand to help him up. He hesitated, then took it, still panting. People looked at each other. Whispers filled the gym. "Who is she? Did you see that movement? She's definitely trained before." An instructor stepped forward and asked softly, "Hey, you sure this is your first class?" Tanya smiled. "Not exactly. I taught self-defense in the military. And I've held a black belt for 10 years. The room went still. The coach stepped onto the mat, eyebrows raised. "Tanya, would you mind giving a quick demonstration for the rest of the class?" Tanya nodded. But this time, it wasn't just Travis in front of her, it was the head instructor, a well-respected former national competitor. Everyone shifted, realizing this wasn't just about a spar anymore. It was about pride and proof. Tanya bowed once again. Her face calm. Controlled. The instructor mirrored her. As they began, the difference in their approaches was immediately clear. He was skilled, precise, calculated. But Tanya moved like someone who had nothing to prove but everything to protect. She countered his takedowns. Matched his speed. Then stunned everyone by flipping the instructor with a technique that only high-level martial artists could execute cleanly, a judo hip throw followed by a perfect arm lock. He tapped. And this time, it wasn't awkward silence that followed, it was applause. People stood. Others dropped their phones, stunned they hadn't started recording earlier. The same Jim that had quietly laughed when she walked in was now speechless, not because she won, but because they knew they had misjudged her entirely. Even Travis, still catching his breath off to the side, mouthed, "Damn." The instructor sat up, laughing, not mockingly, but with genuine admiration. "Remind me never to underestimate anyone again," he said, shaking her hand. Tanya just smiled, her voice low but firm. "That's the thing about assumptions, they say more about you than the person you judge." After class, the energy in the gym had completely shifted. The same people who had once whispered and laughed now approached Tanya with admiration, asking about her background, her training, her story. And for the first time that day, Tanya shared a glimpse of her truth. She was a third-degree black belt, a former self-defense instructor for at-risk youth, and had competed internationally. But none of that mattered the moment she walked in wearing sweats and brown skin. Travis approached her last. He looked down, guilt written all over his face. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "I didn't think." Tanya looked him in the eye. "That's the problem. You didn't." But then, she extended her hand, not just in victory, but in grace. "You want to roll sometime? For real this time?" He smiled, a little embarrassed. Yeah, I'd like that." What Tanya did that day wasn't just win a fight. She shattered a narrative. She showed that respect is not earned through appearance or assumptions, but through character and truth. And while the world may not always apologize for its biases, stories like Tanya's remind us. Firepower doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it walks in quietly and lets action do the talking. Subscribe Stories for Change. Like, subscribe and give your thoughts below in comment section.